Thank you for coming by to Apis Bull. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, GameStop, rocket mortgages, and more. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to see how you can sign up to my newsletter, see me on Twitter, Reddit, and earn interest from BlockFi. Deposit your Bitcoins and earn interest, or you can deposit your Bitcoins and then use it as collateral to borrow money to buy a car or a house. And you can mine Bitcoin from your laptop, desktop, see me on library, and or make a donation to my channel. And here are the charts that I use. And here is Bitcoin weakening. This line right here is an 18-day moving average line. 18-day moving average line. And we have been floating under the 18-day moving average line for a while here, for over a week. And this is day number 1 below the 18-day moving average line. We need another day below the 18-day moving average line. And then on the third day, we can go ahead and short it. We are weakening, very weak in our stochastics, and our money flow has been coming out for a while now. And we go to the weekly chart. Weekly chart. Now notice over here, it's below 80. The blue is below 80. The red is below 80. The money flow is below 80. This is a weak market, and I think there's some more downside to go. I'm not going to say how far it's going to go, but I think that it should be able to touch this line right here, which is 31,400. So I think it'll at least go that far. And then after that, it could be going back up. Then again, it could be continuing to go down. This here is DOT on the weekly chart. Pay attention to these numbers over here. And you'll see that it says 81.27 for the red. Has to be below 80. Once it goes below 80, then we can make our bets to go short. Money flows coming out. This is a weekly chart. Money flows coming out. Stochastics is coming down. We've got our long bars. Now our bars are starting to shorten out. And this is a daily chart. Now I have noticed, I'm using, it says Binance. It says Binance. And this one says Bitfinex. They're both DOT. Now let's go to the other DOT, which is on Kraken. And we get this long bar on Kraken. Now Kraken on that particular date had a lot of long bars. I think they had an issue. Like here's Ethereum, long bar on that particular same day. But if you look at Coinbase, so I think there might have been a glitch with Kraken, because I noticed a lot of, on that particular day with Kraken, there was a lot of heavy downside. And here we are with the corn market, the corn futures. And this is the 18-day moving average line. Going down below the 18-day moving average line for 3 days now. And the stochastics coming down. Money flow is kind of boring, but it lays at the bottom, telling me that either it's going to get weaker, but we have here, over here, watch those numbers. It says 80.25. So once it goes below 80, you know you're safe to short it, but I wouldn't do it as soon as it goes to 80. or 79.99. I think the corn market has gone up too fast, too soon. See that? The corn market. August of last year, it just popped right up. I think it's coming down. It should come down like halfway. It takes about $300 if you want to play the corn market. I use Charles Schwab. They have a special website for futures trading called Smart Street Central. And that's what I use. Place my orders for Charles Schwab and the corn futures. All it is $300. And then when it goes up a penny, or when it goes up when it goes into your favor by 1 penny, you're making $50. So it's heavily leveraged. Here is GameStop. I've made a couple of videos about GameStop and their gap trading. So we have a gap right here between this bar and this bar way down here. There's a big old gap in between. That gap has to be filled in, and it was filled in on the next day. And then there was a gap over here, and that has to be filled in. Still hasn't been filled in yet. But we have a gap over here. It's a minor gap, but it's still a gap of about a $10 gap between these two bars. And it was filled in with this bar right here. But we still have this gap over here that needs to be filled. So I'm still waiting for the gap to get filled in. And this is a weekly chart. We're at a bottom. Once that red goes above 20, just pay attention over here, these numbers over here. Once it goes above, see right now it's 16.96. Once it goes above 20, you're good to go for buying. And I think at that time, it's going to go past that gap of 200, 210, I guess. So that's the secret of gap trading. All gaps have to be filled. And the low 212. So it has to go at least 212. And right now it's sitting at 132. So almost $80. So it's got to go up another $80 before that gap can be filled in. And at that time, it may continue to go higher. I don't know if the institutions are still shorting it or what. But I noticed on Reddit, a lot of people are putting in new orders to buy GameStop. So it could go. All we have to do is just wait for that to cross over to 220, and then we can get on in and join the ride. This is RKT, which is Rocket Companies, also known as Rocket Mortgage, the one that the Wall Street bets are pushing up. I haven't read as to why they're trying to push it up. Maybe there's a heavy short on it, but let's take a look at what I have been going over for the past couple of videos, which is gap trading. And we got this 1 day bar, nice big bar. And then we got this little bar down below it a day before. And then there's this gap in between where there's nothing. And like I said in my previous videos, all gaps have to be filled. So what's going to happen is that this is going to come back down and fill this space. Now notice that there's a little bit of tiny gap right here. Very small. But it still has to be filled. So the price is going to come all the way down, back down to 21, 20 and a half. And already we can see stochastics and the money flow is moving down. And the red line is below 80. And the money flow is below 80. So that tells me that this thing was only a one-day wonder and it ain't gonna happen again. I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. I think this is done and over with. It's gonna fill this gap, and then it's gonna fill this gap, and it's just gonna be a straight line bar going across all these. I don't think anything's gonna come of it. And that's all I have for today, and thank you for stopping by.